You find yourself exploring the dark and scary jungle of Portuguese grammar when you hear something moving in a nearby bush. You convince yourself that it was nothing and keep going forward when suddenly a wild adjective jumps in front of you. You laugh in the face of peril because you watched the video about nouns. You know all about variations of gender and number, and because of this, you are more than prepared to tackle any adjective menace that tries to bite your face off. Silly jungle metaphors aside, it is true adjectives vary between masculine and feminine and between singular and plural just like nouns. Before we go into some examples, here's a general rule. Adjectives are usually placed right after the noun they qualify. O morango vermelho, the red strawberry, a árvore alta, the tall tree, o bolo doce, the sweet cake. Note that it's exactly the opposite of what happens with adjectives in English that are placed before the noun. I said they are usually placed after the noun because it's also possible to place them before. This is done for poetic effect or, for example, when you want to express admiration for a specific quality of something. Que grande dinossauro! What a big dinosaur! Que belo dia! What a beautiful day! If you move the adjectives in these examples, the meaning is exactly the same. Que dinossauro grande! Que dia belo! So, if you want to make your life slightly easier, you can decide to always place the adjective after the noun. Just remember you'll also find it before. Of course, when the adjective comes after the verb to be, either ser or estar, these placing rules don't apply. O céu é azul. The sky is blue. A comida está quente. The food is hot. As for variation, most adjectives have a masculine and a feminine form used with masculine and feminine nouns. O gato é bonito. The cat is pretty. A flor é bonita. The flower is pretty. A chita é rápida. The cheetah is fast. O avião é rápido. The plane is fast. O João é português. João is Portuguese. A Maria é portuguesa. Maria is Portuguese. O tubarão é ameaçador. The shark is threatening. A minhoca não é ameaçadora. The worm is not threatening. Some adjectives have the same form for masculine and feminine. Among these, the ones that end in A in their masculine form. O Antônio é janota. Antônio is dapper. A Isabel é janota. Isabel is dapper. Also many but not all adjectives ending in or in their masculine form, which is the form you'll find in dictionaries. O ano anterior, the previous year. A semana anterior, the previous week. Adjectives ending in R, E or in other consonants not covered by the previous examples will have one form for masculine and feminine. Este país é familiar. This country is familiar. Esta rua é familiar. This street is familiar. O João é forte. João is strong. A Maria é forte. Maria is strong. O Paulo é jovem. Paulo is young. A Rita é jovem. Rita is young. O Sebastião está feliz. Sebastião is happy. A Margarida está feliz. Margarida is happy. A leoa é feroz. The lioness is ferocious. O ornitorrinco é feroz. The platypus is ferocious. Adjectives also have a plural form. This is made following the same rules used for making nouns plural. You can watch the video about noun plurals again to remember how it works, or watch it for the first time, in which case, shame on you for watching numbered videos out of order. A maçã é boa. The apple is good. As maçãs são boas. The apples are good. O João está feliz. João is happy. O João e a Maria estão felizes. João and Maria are happy. A baleia é enorme. The whale is huge. As baleias são enormes. The whales are huge. Portugal é um país bonito. Portugal is a pretty country. Portugal e o Brasil são países bonitos. Portugal and Brazil are pretty countries. Note that some country names take the definite article and others don't. The list is mostly random. Doesn't that make you happy? O Paulo é jovem. Paulo is young. O Paulo e a Rita são jovens. Paulo and Rita are young. One of the most amusing things you can do with adjectives is compare things. To do this in Portuguese, you use the following sentence structures. To say that a thing is more something or less something than another thing, you use article plus noun plus verb plus mais or menos plus adjective plus que or do que plus article plus different noun. A Maria é mais alta do que o João. Maria is taller than João. A Rita é mais jovem que o Paulo. Rita is younger than Paulo. As leoas são mais ferozes que as lesmas. Lionesses are more ferocious than slugs. To say that a thing is as something as another thing, you use article plus noun plus verb plus tão plus adjective plus como plus article plus different noun. As maçãs são tão boas como as laranjas. Apples are as good as oranges. O João está tão feliz como a Maria. João is as happy as Maria. Some adjectives are irregular in their comparative form. The most frequently used of these are bom, good, mau, bad, and grande, big. If you say mais bom, mais mau, or mais grande, you'll be wrong and you'll sound like a 4-year-old. Instead, the comparative forms of these adjectives are bom, melhor, mau, pior, grande, maior. A primavera é melhor que o inverno. Spring is better than winter. A fruta podre é pior que a fruta madura. Rotten fruit is worse than ripe fruit. A baleia é maior que o elefante. The whale is bigger than the elephant. There is also menor, an irregular form of pequeno, small. But with this adjective you can use both the regular or irregular forms. It's your choice. O golfinho é mais pequeno que a baleia. O golfinho é menor que a baleia. The dolphin is smaller than the whale. It is possible to find mais bom, mais mau, and mais grande in a correct sentence, but that is a different usage that shouldn't concern you as a beginner. Also note that these adjectives can be used in their regular form when you are making comparisons with tão. O Carlos é tão grande como o João. Carlos is as big as João. You can also use the regular form of mau with menos. O inverno é menos mau que o outono. Winter is less bad than autumn. The regular forms of grande and pequeno sound awkward when used with menos. O elefante é menos grande que a baleia. The elephant is less big than the whale. Instead say, o elefante é mais pequeno que a baleia. The elephant is smaller than the whale. You can also use adjectives to proclaim a thing as the most or least something or as very something. To do this in Portuguese, you use article plus noun plus verb plus muito plus adjective. O João é muito inteligente. João is very intelligent. Or article plus noun plus verb plus o mais or a mais plus adjective. O João é o mais inteligente. João is the most intelligent. A Maria é a mais rápida. Maria is the fastest. Optionally, you can add elements to limit your statement to a specific group. O João é o mais inteligente de todos os rapazes. João is the most intelligent of all the boys. A Maria é a mais rápida de todas as raparigas. Maria is the fastest of all the girls. Or, with the same meaning, o João é o mais inteligente dos rapazes. A Maria é a mais rápida das raparigas. Dos and das are just the word de, of, joined together with the definite articles os and as. If you want to raise the degree in which something is more or less something than something else, you can join muito and mais in the same sentence. O João está muito mais feliz que a Maria. João is much happier than Maria. O elefante é muito mais pequeno que a baleia azul. The elephant is much smaller than the blue whale. In Portuguese, you can also use adjectives to say that something is extremely something without comparing it to anything else. Unlike a Maria é a mais rápida, Maria is the fastest. With this construction, you are saying Maria is extremely fast. You could, of course, translate this sentence literally. A Maria é extremamente rápida. Maria is extremely fast. But you have a specific way of saying this in Portuguese, with a change to the adjective, and it's quite a change. O Júlio é altíssimo. Júlio is extremely tall. Alto, altíssimo. Lisboa é belíssima. Lisbon is extremely beautiful. Bela, belíssima. With many adjectives ending in a vowel, it's simply a matter of removing it and adding íssimo or íssima instead. A Maria é espertíssima. Maria is extremely smart. Esperta, espertíssima. O carro é caríssimo. The car is extremely expensive. Caro, caríssimo. O Cristiano Ronaldo é talentosíssimo. Cristiano Ronaldo is extremely talented. Talentoso, talentosíssimo. But then you have things like a maçã é dulcíssima. The apple is extremely sweet. Doce, dulcíssima. O Oliver Twist é paupérrimo. Oliver Twist is extremely poor. Pobre, paupérrimo. We could go into these oddities in detail, but you don't really want that, do you? I can tell by those droplets of cold sweat forming on your forehead. Just memorize these two. Bom, good. Ótimo, extremely good. Mau, bad. Péssimo, extremely bad. And stay away from extremes. Those rarely have any positive effects.